Prince Harry, the Duke of Delusion, has just pulled what might be his most desperate, most transparent, and most utterly pathetic stunt yet. And trust me, it says more about the chaos swirling in his head than 1,000 tabloid headlines ever could. After weeks of leaks, a trip across the Atlantic, whispers about Archie enrolling at Eton, and a carefully staged meeting with King Charles, Harry now wants us to believe he doesn't want to roll in the royal family, that he's perfectly happy in sunny California and plans to stay there forever. Oh, really, Harry? You don't say. Because if that's the case, why does everything he does scream the opposite? And here's where it gets good. While Harry's busy spinning his latest pity party, one royal is having absolutely none of it. I'm talking about the indestructible, the unstoppable, the no-nonsense princess, Anne. And trust me, when Anne's patience runs out, the royal walls start shaking. So buckle up, we're diving into Harry's latest smoke and mirrors game, Anne's furious clapback, and why this latest twist could be the most humiliating chapter yet. Let's rewind the tape for just a moment, shall we? Picture it. The private jet touches down, the flashbulbs are ready, and Prince Harry steps onto UK soil. Not for a marathon of royal duty, mind you, no, just 4 days. For very carefully choreographed days. First stop, Clarence's house. A quiet meeting with King Charles. Oh, but not too quiet, because wouldn't you know it, cameras and lenses were right where they needed to be. Perfectly placed to capture the reunion. A smile here, a handshake there, the kind of glossy photo op that screams, look, everything's fine. Then came the second act, whispers about Archie. Not just any whispers, but rumors, deliberately leaked, about enrolling the young prince at Eton. Yes, Harry's old stomping grounds. That's not just a school application, that's a statement. A breadcrumb trail leading straight back to Britain. A signal flare saying, keep the door open, I may be back sooner than you think. And you could almost hear the PR machine humming in the background of Montecito. The prodigal son returns, the narrative whispered. Harry's circling back. A family reunion is on the horizon. The press ate it up. Headlines churned. Analysts debated. Was this the start of a royal comeback? But then whiplash. Just as the British public was adjusting to this possible homecoming, just as the rumor mill was reaching full tilt, bam, his team pivots. Out of nowhere, they float a brand new storyline. Harry, we're told, has no plans to move back, no desire to return. His home, his heart, his future, it's all in America. Now, let's be clear. That isn't clarity. That isn't closure. This is what stage magicians call misdirection. The waving hand that distracts you while the other pulls the trick. Harry doesn't want to roll? Please. What he wants is control. He wants to keep both narratives alive, door cracked just enough for the comeback card, but also painted shut with woe is me, victimhood if anyone dares suggest he return. And make no mistake, folks, this isn't strategy. This is desperation. Desperation wears the mask of choice. It's the same tired act we've seen over and over. Play both sides, milk both stories, then cry foul when caught. And the worst part, the most insulting part, he thinks we're buying it. He thinks the public is too gullible, too distracted, too sentimental to see the obvious strings. But the truth? We see it all. The smoke, the mirrors, the sad attempt at royal theater. And the only one Harry's fooling these days is himself. And this, my friends, is where the Princess Royal storms into the frame, like a thundercloud over Windsor. Princess Anne, the iron spine of the monarchy. The woman who can ride a horse at dawn, attend 3 ribbon cuttings before lunch, and still outwork every other royal on the calendar. Let's not forget, and once clocked in over 500 official engagements in a single year. 500. Compare that to Harry and Meghan's glittering handful during their entire marriage, and the math speaks for itself. And is not flashy. She doesn't pose for cameras with latte art in Montecito. She doesn't play at victimhood, nor does she dabble in PR pity scripts. She is duty, unyielding, unapologetic, unglamorous. And that's precisely why her words land with the force of a sledgehammer. According to a source close to Anne, her take on Harry's latest sob story, his I don't want to roll charade, was disarmingly blunt. The quote, "There's no move to want to be back in the institution." At first, you might shrug. On the surface, that's just echoing Harry's own line. But then came the dagger. The source added, with surgical precision, he's genuinely not very happy in California with Meghan. Oof. Brutal. Direct. Devastating. Read between the lines, folks, because Anne doesn't waste words. That wasn't a throwaway comment. That was a verdict. A royal obituary of Harry's so-called freedom. And what she's really saying is crystal clear. Harry isn't staying in California because it's paradise. He isn't staying because he's living his best life among the Hollywood elite. No. He's staying because he's stuck. Shackled to Meghan. Anchored by his children. Trapped in a gilded Montecito cage where the bars are gold-plated, but the walls are closing in. This isn't independence. It isn't liberation. It isn't the fairy tale Meghan and Harry tried to sell to Oprah and Netflix. This, and suggests, is something darker, a life sentence. And if you know Princess, and if you've ever watched her stride into a room with that unmistakable air of get on with it, you can practically hear her reaction. The eye roll was so sharp it could slice through steel. The sigh was so heavy it could rattle the chandeliers at Gatcombe Park. Her inner monologue. Oh, it writes itself. Don't you dare act innocent. Don't you dare play the martyr now. You didn't reject a role, you abandoned your post. You walked away, torch in hand, and then set fire to the bridge behind you. And now, you expect us to pity you for it? Spare me. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the essence of Princess Anne. No fuss, no filters, no tolerance for Harry's pity parade. Let's pause here and appreciate just who Harry is messing with, and his duty personified. She is her mother's daughter, the late Queen's iron-willed replica. Rain or shine, Tuesday in Stoke or Friday in Swindon, and shows up, sleeves rolled up, work done, without fuss. Meanwhile, Harry? He wants the perks without the post, the titles without the duties, the palaces without the rainy Tuesday ribbon cuttings. Anne's fury isn't just about his words. It's about the insult to everything she's built her life on. Service, duty, loyalty, things Harry has tossed aside, like last season's Hollywood script. And the timing couldn't be crueler. His father battling cancer. His sister-in-law Kate facing her own serious health challenges. His brother William carrying the crown's weight on his shoulders. And Harry chooses this moment to whine about not wanting a role he already abandoned years ago? It's betrayal wrapped in hypocrisy, served with a side of California smugness. And Anne's not swallowing a bite. Now let's look at the receipts, because Harry's no role for me line collapses under its own contradictions. Exhibit A, the security lawsuit. Harry fought tooth and nail, millions of dollars, years of legal battles, demanding taxpayer-funded police protection in Britain. Why would a man who supposedly has no intention of returning fight so hard to keep royal-level security in the UK? You don't sue a government for perks in a country you're never going back to. That's not logic, it's entitlement. Exhibit B, the California wine machine. Netflix Oprah interview. The memoir Spare. What are they about? The royals. Every contract, every paycheck, every headline, built on the very institution Harry insists he's cut ties with. It's like breaking up with your girlfriend and then spending the next 5 years writing songs about her. If you've truly moved on, you stop talking. But Harry can't. Because without the prince, without the palace drama, he's just another Malibu celebrity lost in the crowd. And sees it. The public sees it. The world sees it. And while Harry plays his endless, exhausting games from the comfort of California, let's ask the obvious question. Who's left carrying the burden? Who's left holding the line for the monarchy while the prodigal son sulks across the Atlantic? The answer is simple. Prince William. Now pause for a moment and picture the contrast. On one side, William, steady, stoic, and unflinching. A man supporting a father who is battling cancer, every handshake, every public smile, a shield hiding the private worry of a devoted son. At the same time, he's supporting his wife, Catherine, through her own health battle, walking into hospitals quietly, discreetly, balancing the role of caregiver with the role of heir. Layer on top of that the impossible task of raising 3 young children, each of them in the full glare of a global spotlight. And yet, through all of it, William still turns up, day after day. Ribbon cuttings, charity visits, international trips, state functions. The grind of duty never stops, and neither does he. That is what it looks like to shoulder a kingdom. And then on the other side, Harry. His greatest struggle of the week is deciding whether to record yet another podcast about his trauma, whether to sign off on a Netflix pitch about his truth, or whether to slap Duke of Sussex on another lucrative contract. While William is balancing monarch, husband, father, and statesman, Harry is busy playing Hollywood producer, casting himself as the eternal victim. And here's the cruel truth. Every single stunt Harry pulls isn't just embarrassing, it's a knife in his brother's back. Each leaked rumor, each victim narrative, each carefully staged PR stunt is another twist of the blade. For William, who once clasped Harry's shoulder and called him not just a brother, but his best friend, the betrayal cuts deeper than the tabloids will ever print. Because William doesn't see the boy he once shared a nursery with. He doesn't see the young man who walked beside him behind their mother's coffin, step for step, grief for grief. What William sees now is a rival. A rival fueled not by love, not by duty, but by resentment. A brother lost, not to death, but to ego. And that is the tragedy. The world has watched brothers become strangers, and strangers become adversaries. William, the dutiful heir. Harry, the defiant exile. One shouldering the crown, the other throwing stones from across the ocean. So what's the endgame here? Why this latest spin about staying in America? Because Harry is caught in a trap of his own design. He can't return to Britain without humiliation. But he can't leave the royal narrative behind because it's the only thing keeping him relevant in America. He floats Eden rumors to test the waters, then denies them to play the victim. He tells the world he doesn't want the monarchy while fighting tooth and nail for its perks. He's not building a new life. He's recycling the old one in endless victim reboots. The result? A man adrift. A man who had everything: family, love, adoration, a platform to do genuine good, and traded it for a California fairy tale that has curdled into a nightmare. And here's where it gets brutal. Across pubs, tabloids, talk shows, and Twitter threads, the verdict is unanimous. Enough is enough. The British public feels duped. Once charmed by the fairy tale, they're now exhausted by the soap opera. Every time Meghan cries privacy, and then drops another Netflix special, the hypocrisy grows. Every time Harry denounces the royals, but markets himself as prince, his credibility shrinks. Polls don't lie. Trust in the Sussexes has cratered in Britain, and even in America, the star power is dimming. The public is done. The patience is gone. And Anne, she's simply saying what the rest of us are already thinking. Which brings us to the question nobody wants to ask: legacy. Years from now, when historians replay the saga, they won't remember the Netflix scripts or Montecito gift baskets. They'll remember the images: Harry storming out of Clarence's house. Charles is keeping calm under pressure. William carrying on with duty. And perhaps most of all, they'll remember Princess and the woman who called it like it was, who refused to sugarcoat Harry's betrayal, and who stood firm when others tiptoed. Because history doesn't remember the pity parties. It remembers the people who told the truth. And in this story, Anne is the truth teller. Harry is the deserter. And the monarchy? It will survive him. And that, my friends, is the latest pathetic chapter in the Sussex saga. A tale of lies, desperation, and the glorious fury of Princess Anne. But now I want to hear from you. Do you believe Harry really doesn't want to roll in the monarchy? Or is this just another smoke and mirrors performance in his endless victim act? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell, because we're not done. The palace drama is only heating up, and you know the Tatler will be here to call it out.